Gross. Great to be back with you. Hi, Kelly.
You've seen quite a bit in your years in Washington.
I have. I still love the job, but it's just like this weekend, you get a Supreme Court justice who passes away, and the world kind of blows up, and people are trying to figure out what to do. And you're right. You're always right in the middle of the conflict or the battle.
Right. Have you endorsed any candidate for office?
I have not. No,
you have not.
I was kind of waiting for the field to win a little bit, and it needs a little more. A little bit more.
A little bit more. Is you're out on the campaign trail? You have to face the voters every 2 years. They keep talking about the angry voters. Are the voters really that angry?
I think they are. I think they're very frustrated. I think. But the frustration comes from all levels. It comes from those who are debt and deficit, Obamacare, you explained Bernie Sanders. I think he's got angry voters on the far left.
Right.
So I'm not sure what they're hoping. What their ultimate objective is. It is a compromised government. It is, separation of powers. I think they feel that. The Constitution, for the conservatives, they feel the Constitution's unraveling,
right?
And the separation of powers and the checks and balances is not as strong as it should be, and they really want us to be much more aggressive.
The interesting thing about Bernie Sanders, you look at Bernie Sanders, he's against free trade, right? And Cruz and Trump are against free trade, so they're on opposite ends of the spectrum, yet they both have a similar message.
Yeah, well, that's where on the spectrum, when you go to the right and to the left, it's really
That's
circle.
where the light bends.
That's where they come in me. Well, I think what's some of the bizarrest things is when you talk to some independent voters, and they go, I can't decide between Trump or Sanders. And you're what do you mean Trump or Sanders? How do you get there? I mean, I can understand, in the field, but boy, it's fun.
Let's talk about Paul Ryan, the new Speaker of the House. Your thoughts as you watch what you just went through with John Boehner and Paul Ryan.
Yeah, I think, first of all, Paul is a policy guy. He does politics so he can do policy.
Right.
He used to be a waiter. He used to wait tables in D.C. as he got involved as a congressional staffer. And so he's very smart. And I don't know, your observation, he has gone on every show, national show. Now he's trying to get out locally to talk the conservative message, and I think that's what we lacked with John Boehner. That's what we lacked with Denny Hatch. It's a different role for a speaker now, especially trying to be the counterpose to Barack Obama. Where's our bully pulpit?
Right.
The speaker used to be the manager of the House of Representatives. He used to make sure the trains run on time, the bills move. Now, in this environment, he has to be a lead spokesperson. And the good thing about Paul was that even he would have been pummeled had he not been our the Republican vice presidential candidate. And his brand was very good. So people who tried to attack anyone who stuck their head out saying, I'll be speaker, bam, 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 bam.
Right.
Whack-a-mole.
Right. He was the only one left standing in a sense.
Right.
You came up when there was party loyalty. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of party loyalty anymore.
I do believe in supporting the team, and I'm a Ronald Reagan type, and I don't want to wrap myself around in Ronald Reagan, but he said a couple things. He said, one, speak no ill of a fellow Republican. Mm-hmm. We do that every 15 seconds. I mean, it's that's out the door, And then he said, if I can cut a deal and I can get 80% of a deal, that's a pretty good deal. I'm going to take it, and then I'll go back and try to get the other 20% later. That's where we've really lost sight. And I like to be a governing conservative. Mm-hmm. I don't like to be a chaos conservative. I just don't want to blow things up for the sake of blowing things up.
What if Trump is nominated though for the Republican nominee?
Trump versus Clinton or Sanders? Mm-hmm. Oh, I think it's a pretty easy choice.
You're gonna support the nominee no matter who it is.
No matter what.
Yeah. You're a NATO guy. I want to ask you real quick about what's going on around the world. What are your thoughts as you watch ISIS and everything else?
Well, first on NATO, there's a RAND study out that just did war gaming on Russia. Russia's a huge threat, and they still keep
It's a good thing
messing around.
Donald Trump is good friends with Putin.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know. Maybe they can go hunt bears together with their shirts off. I don't know. Yeah, but ISIS, we do need an international coalition. And I've been pretty hawkish on we need to destroy ISIS and help our friends. And sometimes in war, we were friends with the Soviet Union during World War II because they had a common enemy.
Right.
I'm not saying we can't fight with the Russians if we have a common enemy, which is ISIS. But the problem with Russians doing, the Russians are attacking our groups that we support in Syria,
right,
to promote Assad. It is just a sad, mixed up world.
John Shimkus, Congressman with the 15th District in Southern Illinois. You're always welcome here, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, McGraw.
Safe travels. It is 8:58, Big 550 KTRS. There was a Washington University law student who got to have dinner with Justice Scalia a few years ago. He wrote about it. We'll talk with him next. 8:58 KTRS.
Red Brick Roofing, wherever you live from.